These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Wednesday, December 27th. And we have plenty of Celtic stuff to talk about because I was not here after the Lakers game, so we couldn't get a full podcast in. And so we're playing catch up today. Update, I still feel terrible. My head still hurts. Couldn't sleep last night. I've eaten about, in the past 36 to 48 hours, I've eaten 2 pieces of toast and a bagel. Not fun.
Good for
not
calories.
Good.
Good calories. New diet plan dropped. Just get sick.
Awful. I will say the funniest part about this whole ordeal is when I came on the show, RJ was very kind. He said, "Be well. Hope everything is okay." And someone just goes, "He's literally always sick, always coughing."
Yeah, I saw that.
He needs professional help.
Fire.
I was like, "What the hell, man?"
I
It's
love
just
when
like,
people are just overly mean to Jack because he's.
it's like the most unnecessarily rude thing. I told my mom about it, and she goes, "Make sure to tell that guy to fuck himself." Oh,
Speaking of rude commenters, there was some guy that was like, "I hope you learned your lesson because you looked shirtless. I thought you were shirtless because you're wearing the shirt that I'm wearing because it looks close to my skin tone. Please don't wear it again." So for the third straight video, I'm here in this shirt. Get ready to think I'm shirtless, buddy.
Hell yeah. Love that. I will say the worst part about the current ailment that forsakens me, I am like running a temperature, so I'm just like sweating. It can be as cold as it can be in the room. I just can't like not be sweating. It's awful. That is the
Once
worst.
we're done with this, just enjoy being sick. Like, just sit there. Put
It's not. But I'm not a psychopath. I don't enjoy being sick. I want to be productive. I don't want to sit here and be
reap
useless.
the rewards of being sick. Like, just like
What
take
rewards?
advantage of it. Sit there, like
No.
play video games, watch
terrible.
a movie, watch TV.
Terrible. It sucks. Well, this isn't like normal sick. This is like debilitatingly sick. I get hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like the sweet spot where, maybe you're not in the sweet spot just yet because you are like painfully sick, but like there is like a little gray area in there where it's like, I don't feel that bad, but I don't feel good enough to be super like busy.
No,
it's okay to like not like do things when you don't feel good. It's part of life. You have to shut down sometimes. It's coming from me.
Not fun.
And I hate
not
doing stuff.
Don't like it. Anyways, let's see who's going to be winning some Inpopnito today. Got the wheel all set up. Got some catching up to do because we didn't give away on the last podcast because obviously we didn't do a full podcast. So let's see who's winning from this big wheel. We got 9 entries. Let's see who's winning when we have popcorn gift.
Sucks for the people that enter because their odds go down, but it's good for the wheel.
Sean. I checked the name before we get on here just so I could say the names correctly. Sean, well, congratulations. We're going to get you some popcorn gift card. We'll respond to your comment, let you know. We'll put it on our sheet now just so we remember. And if we don't comment right away, just email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. And if you'd like a chance to win some Inpopnito popcorn, say what's popping in the comments.
They need to send phone number, right?
Phone number, name, and email address, which I'll get the email if you just send us an email.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So that's easy enough. That means if you win, you can just do that. But we'll also be like, hey, you won.
Yes, sir. Comment what's popping. Send us an email with what's popping, and we'll get you set up. Thank you. Shout out Sean for winning the contest today. And without further ado, let's get into the first Celtics topic, which is Udonis Haslem being a piece of shit. I'm just going to say it word for word. Now, listen, most of y'all probably already know what we're talking about. So before we say it, I understand the context of trying to hype your team up in a big moment. This is obviously a big moment, so you try to hype your team up. But shitting on one of the most decorated and respected people in the history of the sport of basketball is probably not the best way to do it, especially when your teammate's going to publicize it a year later. So Bam was a guest on Haslem and Mike Miller's podcast. What is the title of the podcast? Do we know? I'm just curious.
Everybody has a podcast. I kind of don't like everybody trying to have a podcast. As I don't know, they start a podcast and who knows how consistent it's been. I truly don't know.
It's called the OGs, which is fair name. Sure.
And does everyone really need to have a podcast and a microphone in front of them?
Brand new. They have posted 5 videos to their YouTube channel, so they just started.
Yeah, gotta make sure everybody's got a podcast. Isn't Mike
Listen,
Miller an agent, or is that like a different Mike Miller? I thought he was also an agent.
I think he is an agent. I'll
know how
double
I'd
check,
feel
but I'm
about
pretty sure he is
agent
an
on a
agent. I know
podcast.
there is a
an
Mike
agent.
Miller. He is an agent. Yes, he is. I think he has some pretty big clients too. JD Davison is one.
Massive
Paolo
client.
Banchero represents. So it's a pretty good one.
It
Right
is
there.
like a brilliant move from Mike Miller to become an agent post-career, though. Like, that's a very, very, like, smart thing to do.
Yeah. The biggest one's Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr.
Just represents
yeah.
the whole Magic team.
Pretty much JD Davison, CJ Ellaby. Anyways, sorry. So Bam Adebayo was on the pod, and he said we were playing Boston, so he's in his feelings, or so his feelings. We're in the huddle. Cap come in there. He gave his pregame speech. They retired Bill Russell's jersey for everybody in the league, so they got 6 in our rafters, and he's in the pregame speech. Expletive Bill Russell too. Basically, fuck Bill Russell too.
Yeah.
Has him expanded on his thought process a little bit. I love Bill. No disrespect to Bill. I love you. He just caught that stray. But will you ever see a Miami Heat jersey hanging in the Boston rafters? Respect Bill Russell. I love him, but why the fuck you got to hang in there? And then Jaylen Brown went on to like a tweet basically saying, Michael Jordan has got a jersey in the rafters in Miami, but you're going to go after the guy who did the most for like social justice and that stuff in the league and in the world. And that's the guy you're going to pick on. Like, what the fuck? Like I said, I understand wanting to hype up your team. And obviously he went on to saying he just caught that stray. Like, I love Bill, obviously, but like, what the fuck are we doing? Also, why are we publicizing that you said that? At least keep it under wraps. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like, this is also on Bam for being a moron and being like, hey, everybody, he said this. Like, if I'm Haslem, I'm kind of heated at him.
Well, you said it before the show. Why didn't you just cut it out? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's also your podcast. Like, you could just be like, oh, maybe we don't need to have everybody hear this story. It's not like they were live. Maybe they did it on purpose so they could get, the aggregation accounts on Twitter to tweet it and
Lame.
people would get mad. But this is a very wild area to disrespect. First of all, I'll say this. I do respect the players having some sort of disdain in a rivalry. First and foremost, I love a rivalry. I love
agree.
that they get heated about the Celtics. Like, good. Like, that's good for the sport. However, Bill Russell never played a game against the Miami Heat because they didn't exist when Bill Russell played. They were not a rival of Bill Russell. And Bill Russell has nothing to do with the Miami Heat. If anything, he paved the way for a lot of people to get where they've gotten because of the things he did on the court, the things he did off the court, and the incredible person that he was. So it's just really weird to like pick on him. The reason why his 6 is retired around the league is not because of basketball. It's because of all of the things that he did in his life to make things better for the people that came after him. And that's the most outrageous part of this. Like, everybody should love Bill Russell. Bill Russell was a lovable person. He was a great soul. There is an entire documentary on Netflix about how remarkable he was off the floor. That is why 6 is retired by every team in the league. Not because he was a Celtic and won 11 titles. It's really retired for Bill Russell, the person, not Bill Russell, the Celtic. So if you really want to be like, they have a Celtics number in our rafters, listen, I get I wouldn't want a Celtics jersey hanging in my rafters. I do. But like, really, really weird. And L by Bam for exposing him. That might be a larger L.
I honestly agree. Like I said, like heading in before this, I had a lot of respect for Udonis Haslem. Like, regardless of all the haha, like, oh, he just sits on the bench. Like, he stayed with the same team for 20x years. He set records for the franchise. Like, he very clearly cares about that organization and was willing to stay there and do whatever it took to be a part of it and help and do everything.
Getting his numbers.
And even like, even past this, like, I can contextualize that this was just him trying to say something to hype his team up. He is a Heat guy. Very clearly fucking hates the Celtics, which if
Good.
you're a part of an opposing team, like respect, like
You
you
should
gotta
hate
have
other
to do that.
teams.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like pretty not okay with what he said, but like I understand why he said that to hype them up.
You
Just
can at least see it.
yeah, just pick a different battle. Like pick a different target. Like
Well,
you could have said like Larry, you could have said Pierce, you could have said fuck KG, you know,
well, they
but like
did. He did. He said
okay.
so. I was looking for the exact quote because I didn't want to just put Haslem said fuck Bill Russell on the sheet. I wanted to make sure like we had the complete context because it's not really fair to just pick out things. But these quotes that we read are verbatim what was transcribed.
Okay.
So in searching for these, he talked about he does not have a disdain for Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum in the current iteration of the Celtics, but he hates Pierce and Garnett. He hates those guys.
Sure.
So, like, I can respect that. Like, they battled against those guys. Of course you're going to hate them. I am pro-hate in terms of team-to-team hate. I hate when it's all handshake, buddy-buddy. I like when there's a little bit of animosity in basketball. I think it's good for the game. Seeing Giannis chase the Pacers down to get his as funny and ridiculous as it was, it ruled. They had just got bounced from the in-season tournament. Then they have that thing come up. That's good for the game. That's fun. The fans care. So good for the Heat for caring, but Bill Russell is just not the one. Like,
yeah, not the guy.
of all the people to just be like, fuck that guy.
Not about that.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's a rap move. I can't fuck with that.
You'd be like, fuck Ainge. Fuck that guy. I hate Ainge. Like, pick anybody. Just not him. Like, it's just wild.
You could have literally picked on almost any other member of the Celtics history. Like
So
almost
after
any.
Kyrie, dude. We all would have been like, agree. Like, he would have united Celtics and Heat fans. We would have been like, yes, respect.
Yeah. Oh man. Just an L. Just an L decision and take by Udonis Haslem. Anyways.
Shout out to Jalen for liking it. And you know, like Jalen definitely saw this and like Arthur clenched fist meme because how much Bill Russell is meant to Jalen and what Jalen believes in and all of the goals that Jalen has for the city of Boston with his new contract and the things he plans to accomplish. Oh, that must have really fucking set him off.
I hope that
When's
this sparks
these teams play. When's the next time Miami comes to the Garden? I'm gonna look it up. You don't have to.
I hope that next time they do play in that moving forward.
They don't come back this year.
No, they play in Miami twice on the 25th of January and February 11th. I know you said UD said that he doesn't have a disdain for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I hope this makes it so they want him to.
I hope they have a disdain for him.
Yeah, I hope it. Yeah, I agree.
January 19th, Haslam's jersey will get retired, so it's not going to be against the Celtics. I was curious if that would be the day.
When is it?
January 19th. So the Celtics are in Miami 6 days later.
Yeah. Close. Wow. Almost.
You're going to the game tomorrow, right? Or if you feel good enough?
Yeah, it depends on how I feel. It's
you got to ask them about that. I'm sure if you don't, somebody will. But
someone's got to, yeah. Anyways, all right. Next thing, Jrue Holiday has been playing out of his mind lately. He's really finding his footing. I know you wrote about it for Celtics blog. Joe Mazzulla said, you're seeing Jrue reinvent his game as far as playing off the ball, playing when the matchup is on it, being involved in different defensive schemes. Obviously, just put up 2 20-point games on the West Coast Strip. I know you wrote about it, so I'll let you take it. But
yeah, I got to give a shout out to Bill Sy too, who also did a little bit, but it was more about Mazzulla's vision for the adjustment of the offense. But he did highlight Holiday in there. He pointed out that last year in Milwaukee, Jrue Holiday was the primary ball handler 24% of the time. That was his usage rate is that role. This year, it's down to 16%. He's doing that far less. So he pulled that quote from Joe about Jrue learning to play off the ball. And that has been a big help to this Celtics team. It's obvious that Jrue Holiday does not have as much opportunity here to be the dribbler, right? He can't really be the point guard at all times. I think the Celtics play best if there isn't necessarily a guy that is doing that. I don't like when it's Tatum. I think it makes the ball stick. Maybe Derek White or Holiday are truly the answer, but they have so much talent on this team. It's really not necessary. The best way for the Celtics to play is just by moving the ball. Simply put, there's no need for anyone to have to be the primary guy.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action, NFL. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including you got spreads, you got your player props, you got over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
Now, Holiday has not only seen his usage rate as the primary ball handler drop, but he is taking the least amount of shots per game since his rookie year, yet he's still wildly efficient. He's shooting 46.6% from the field, but the three-point percentage is almost at 42%. It's 41.9. He has managed to stay ready and remain just always reliable. It's funny, he gave the quote on Horford saying like the most reliable or whatever he called him.
Yeah.
But like Jrue Holiday is literally the same thing. Like they're not asking a whole lot of him on offense. It's just like when the ball is dished to you, knock down the shot. And he's managed to be consistent despite not necessarily having the opportunity to have a great rhythm and to get yourself in that rhythm. It's tough. It's tough when you're just kind of thrust in and every once in a while you have to do stuff or you're expected. Like these guys that don't have consistent minutes, somebody like Pritchard last year where he wasn't always in the game. Like he wasn't getting in games and you saw his numbers dip. So credit to Jrue Holiday for remaining somebody the Celtics can lean on. And he's given them a great, steady veteran presence as well. In the Kings game, Tatum was out. He had rolled his ankle against the Warriors the day before. That means they had one less star guy to roll out there with the second unit. Who was the second unit guy in that game? It was Jrue. Jrue had a great second quarter. It was after De'Aaron Fox had hung 17 on the Celtics in the first quarter. Sacramento scored 40 points. Holiday, I think he had 8 to 10 points that quarter. And he also finished the night with double-digit assists. So he did a job of serving as the hub for that bench unit. The fact that he's able to do that, or he's able to just be a catch-and-shoot guy, is nuts. And he's playing defense, and he's guarding the bigger guys. He guarded LeBron in the Lakers game. He had a massive timely block on Jackson Hayes in the fourth quarter. Celtics were up 8. Hayes was about to get a dunk to bring it to 6, and they were really fighting off the Lakers because they did not want to relinquish the lead again after they blew an 18-point lead earlier in the game. He got him from behind. Just basically, it was like a strip block. He went up, brought the ball up. Holiday got him from behind. The Celtics got a fast break out of it. There was another point in that game. Holiday pushed the pace off a make and found Porzingis, who sprinted the floor, for a lob. Easiest 2-point punch back ever. Just his awareness, his veteran know-how has been a huge addition to the Celtics. Those that did not like Marcus Smart probably love Holiday because he is a controlled Marcus Smart. And shout out to Marcus, who played very well for the Grizzlies yesterday. I think they won, right? They beat the Pelicans in overtime.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had a lot of clutch moments. So this is not a Marcus Smart, see you later, thank God he's off the team. But like Holiday is Marcus Smart with been around the block a few times built in.
Grizzlies are back, by the way, in case you're curious.
Yeah, they won what, 3 or 4?
4.
Happy
back.
for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Jrue Holiday being more and more comfortable with the Celtics is great. You're obviously going to have growing pains as he joins the team in October, like 2 weeks before the preseason started. He was a part of the team. And now he's finally finding his footing in getting comfortable in Boston's offense. If he's able to be the guy that is just the step up every once in a while guy, and he can be reliable for that, watch out. The ceiling is just going to continue to raise and raise and raise the more comfortable they all get.
Yeah, and I mean, the defense has been there, all season. The offense is obviously important, but like opponents are shooting less than 60% in the restricted area against Jrue Holiday, shooting 40% in the paint, not restricted area, 35% on above the break threes. That's best on the Celtics. Like, he's clamps. He's completely like shutting down everybody on defense, and that's really why the Celtics
at looking at defensive numbers, because I just never know where to look. Those are great stats.
Yeah, and like, listen, this is what everyone wanted from him when the Celtics traded. Celtics traded for him. Sorry, the defense, that's what everyone was looking for, because obviously he's fresh off an all-defensive first-team season. He's widely regarded as the best defender in the NBA by all his peers. And that's what you're seeing. And you pair that with Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis and the Jays and Horford, and like you've got a ridiculous defensive lineup. But offensively, I think a lot of the question marks coming into the season, at least you heard a lot from Bucks fans, was like, can he settle into being maybe not the top guy all the time? And there were points where you question whether or not, points where you'd see him search for his own shot a little bit too much. But lately, it's all been like, yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to do whatever the team needs. And he's, like you said, he's averaging only 13 points. All this stuff about the fewest touches, blah, blah, blah. He looks perfect. It's crazy also. He's taking like about the same amount of shots as Derek White and Porzingis. Like, it's really not that crazy, like crazily much of a gap. Like Jrue Holiday's taking 10.8 shots a game. Derek White, 11.2. Kristaps Porzingis, 12.4. Like, that's a lot closer than you'd expect watching the games. But regardless, Jrue Holiday's been great. Those
Also,
three have been great behind the Jays.
I hate to start the circle jerk in December, but you have to give Brad Stevens a lot of credit, because not only did he put this team together, but he found the correct personalities to put on this team, I think. Sacrifice has been a huge discussion throughout the first 2-3 months of the season. And you can see these guys are walking the walk. Jrue Holiday taking low shots and Derek White and Porzingis taking roughly about the same. Plus, you've seen both Tatum and Brown cut back their looks too. These guys just want to win. They're no nonsense. Everybody's pretty much happy to be there. Even a guy like Al Horford going to the bench has been massive. Just going into the season, us not knowing if it was going to be him or Derek White, and then seeing how much Derek White has thrived as a starter, we didn't realize how much of a big decision that might have been. Like, if he had come off the bench, we might be missing out on this Derek White masterclass stretch we've watched over the last month. All of that. Go ahead.
My take: Derek White was never coming off the bench. That's my.
He might not have been coming off the bench.
I think Jrue, and this is like obviously nothing to do with like disagreeing with what you're saying. I feel like they would have put Jrue Holiday on the bench before putting Derek White on the bench. I think they being the Celtics and Joe Mazzulla knew how good Derek White was. And I'm not going to say I didn't know. Porzingis didn't.
Porzingis can't stop talking about how he had no idea that Derek White was good.
It's very funny. I love Porzingis. He's hilarious. Listen, man. I don't want to stray too far away from Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday's been amazing. Derek White's obviously also been amazing. What's crazy about Jrue Holiday this season, I'm just looking at the stats here, 6 double-doubles this year. And the best part about that, most of them are rebounds. Dude is hitting the glass hard, more rebounds per game than ever, I think.
It's important. He has career high in rebounds.
Yeah,
he has 6 double-doubles through 26 appearances, I want to say. Last year, he played 67 games in Milwaukee. He had 16 double-doubles. Yeah. He's on pace to eclipse that. And it's so funny because Derek White has been so good that nobody's really talking about Jrue Holiday. I decided it was time. Yeah. After watching what he did on the West Coast and seeing him get more comfortable in the Celtics offense, it was time to highlight my man a little bit. He doesn't necessarily need the recognition. He's a vet. He's won a title. He knows what he's done in the league. He's just out there to try and win again. But he does deserve the recognition.
Absolutely. I agree. Shout out to Jrue Holiday. He's been great. It's been fun to watch. Very fun to watch. Speaking of Joe Mazzulla, as we were talking about, Joe Mazzulla has no concerns about this year's Celtics team. And when I say that, I mean that literally. In talking with, was this Gary Washburn or Adam Himmelsbach? Himmelsbach. Adam Himmelsbach of the Boston Globe. Joe Mazzulla said, I had concerns last year. Honestly, the concern was, what if we don't win this game today? What if we lose 3 or 4? I had those concerns, understanding how you're going to navigate that. But because of what we talked about earlier, the surrender to the result, I don't have concerns. Whatever we go through, we have to go through. However long that takes. I would regret more being tested and going into a playoffs with 0 adversity than not being tested, and going into the playoffs with 0 adversity, than being battle tested and having an understanding of what we look like when things don't go our way. And I couldn't agree more. I said this on Talking C's with Bobby Kravitsky, SI Media Group. Shout out, Bobby. That's why I like the Lakers game, because they were up by a lot and then they weren't. And it was like that. And the shot stopped falling. The Lakers found some room in transition and they climbed right back into the game. And it was momentum completely swung in the way of the Lakers. And what happened? Didn't matter. Celtics came right back out and rolled them. Said, nah, see you later. We're back. It doesn't matter what you do. We're just going to come right back even harder and win. And I think those are the important games. Like the Clippers and the Kings games were fun. Complete blowouts, not close, never like was in doubt. That Lakers game was more important to me. It was more telling. And I think you're going to see a lot of these tests build up into valuable lessons for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the Celtics actually being tested is very important to your point. Because watching the Lakers game when they were up 18 and then they weren't, and I was like, hey, Jack, they're going to lose this one. And they didn't. In fact, they never even let it get out of hand. Once it got close to being tied, the Celtics started being for real again. They built the lead back up. You saw guys like Jrue Holiday step up in big moments. You saw Tatum have a good fourth quarter despite not really having much of a shot the entire game. These things are all important. You have to be able to do that. I say it all the time, there are stretches in NBA games that are not crunch time, but they are clutch time. When the Celtics let the lead get down to 3 or 4 points, those are moments that decide games. You can fold and let them overtake you and continue to run through you, or you can put your foot down, take control of the game back, and that's what the Celtics did. And it's against a Lakers team that has Davis, who's an incredible presence inside, and LeBron, despite being 40 and writhing in pain, he did hurt his knee, in fairness to him. But he's somebody that throughout his career has been a killer. You have those two guys on the other end, plus Austin Reeves, who everybody loves, and he has had flashes where he's excellent. And you held him off. Great job. Good job. Impressed. Earned my respect, even.
I agree. I agree. It's been fun to watch. It's been fun to see them battle back after these tests. And I mean, you look at most of their losses. I think the important thing is, I forget who said this and where I saw it, but like they've been in every game this year. Like there hasn't been a game where they got completely stomped. Like even that Magic game, like it just got out of hand at the end. Like they had a chance to win that game. Do you remember, the quote I'm talking about? Like I saw it somewhere. I just can't remember.
I don't know if it's a quote, but there is a,
I think it was a quote. Why do I think it was
table? It was a table.
No, I know the table you're talking about, but I think there was something. Yes, I found it. I think it was Bobby Bobby Manning, I should say. Law Murray of The Athletic, who I believe writes for the Clippers, or he covers the Clippers. I'm not sure. Apologies. Law Murray was on the Garden Report and made a point, and he said the Celtics have been in every game this season. They've had double-digit leads in their worst 3 losses. Like, that is nuts. And as much as you can say, haha, like they lost even though they had a double-digit lead, I personally, and
if you're interested in the table,
and I know you say it all, I know you talk about it all the time. I personally don't subscribe to the theory that a double-digit lead means you win the game. I mean, like that's 3 threes. Come on. Let's not act like a 10 point, 13 point lead is just automatically, yeah, they should win this one. As much as you'd like them to, because they've shown they can be up. That's just not how basketball works. Like other teams are going to make run shots.
Well, it's a game of runs, but you can also like be serious and kind of like take a step back and relax when things get a little bit tense. Like you don't have to panic. And I think we've seen a lack of panic at times, which is a good thing. Means they're more comfortable, they're prepared for the moment. So you need that going into the playoffs. Like last year, the Celtics panicked a lot. They panicked in the Hawks series. That's why they lost a couple of the games. They panicked in Game 5 against Milwaukee 2 years ago, because that one sticks with me. Mm-hmm. So this table is like pretty much what percentage of the time each team spends in whatever point range. So the Celtics spend 11 or almost 12% of the time up 20 points. And then they're up, 65% of the other time, or 85%? I can't read it. Small on my screen.
They're within 19 points, 88.1% of the time, which in the table's defense, that could mean on either side. So like,
I see.
Yeah.
See, I thought that was,
no,
they were up 0 to 19. I thought there was 4 of those, but little wrinkle to this: Pistons not last.
Yeah,
our Pistons.
Well, the Pistons, they're technically not last. They have not been up by 20 once this season, which is, I mean, I'm not saying that's an easy feat, but literally every other team has been up by 20 at least once.
It's okay. There's tomorrow.
Sure. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Anyways, next thing we got is from Trayce Jackson Davis, who recently killed the Celtics on the glass in the Warriors game. He's a rookie in Golden State. And he talked about how he almost went to the Celtics. This is from Anthony Slater of The Athletic. He mentioned that a lot of teams showed legitimate interest in Jackson Davis during the pre-draft process. He said the Kings, Pacers, Celtics, Nets, and Warriors were his expected top 5. He had a late first-round optimism, and his felt his floor would have been mid-second. So 57th was hard to stomach. Quote, I was very surprised, honestly. I felt like my senior year of college, I added a lot more to my game, passing, blocking shots, rebounding at a high level, finishing, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but when we did our little draft preview with Tyler Rucker, biggest sleepers, Trayce Jackson Davis, check mark for Jack. So that's all I'm saying. We had him we did in fact have him as a first round talent, in case you're wondering, in our little mock draft. So
Did we?
We did. We had him 30. We had him going 30, which is pretty much where he thought he would go. That's what I'm saying. But Trayce Jackson Davis has been great for the Warriors this year. He's given them real minutes. He's playing big minutes. He did kill the Celtics.
Double off the bench.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't want to sit here and say he would be getting minutes for the Celtics because he probably wouldn't be, realistically speaking, just with the rotation they have, the guy playing the guys they trust, etc. That said, he is a guy you look at if he was playing at his current level and had a spot in the rotation, like, okay, yeah, he could make an impact, especially with the rebounding, because that is something the Celtics value a lot this year. So, I mean, just all this to say, like, shout out Trayce Jackson Davis for being good.
But also, like, a lot of people asking about trades. A lot of people are like, should they get a big guy? You know, what do they need? They need a third string big guy. If they had drafted Trayce Jackson Davis, like, he could be the thing that people think the Celtics need to go get. Whether they actually need to go get it or not is one thing. I'm not really sure. I don't know what I believe in trade wise. My stance on trades right now is just like, I don't know, dude. They're 23-6. Like, what do you want out of me?
Yeah.
But good for him. I mean, sucks that they didn't take him. It always sucks when they don't take people. Sucks that they tried it back a zillion times and kept me awake all night before a flight at 6 a.m. But, you know, what are you going to do?
It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Next thing we got is Kendrick Perkins, Big Perk, talking about the Celtics-Pistons. And the Pistons do take on the Celtics tonight as you're listening to this. Quote, I have a better chance at eating breakfast with Beyonce and Oprah than the Pistons do of beating the Celtics tomorrow. It's an all-timer. Just an all-time quote.
Yeah.
Just great.
I know all of our comments are going to be like, dude, they're going to lose. They're going to lose to the Pistons. Because, like, we all have that in us. We're all like, they're going to lose. But they shouldn't lose. I don't think it's up yet because it's Wednesday at 12:30. And I would love to see what the line is. Just like, I can probably, like, tomorrow can just take pregame insurance. Like, I just put $5 on it, win like 100 if they lose. I don't know if it's
I
up
will
yet.
say, quick Pistons note.
We got plenty of Pistons coming up.
I know, but just as I bet on the Pistons in a parlay last night. And no, sorry. I bet against the Pistons is what I meant. I bet on the Pistons game. I bet Nets minus 6.5. And as you know, they lost by 6. However, Mikal Bridges missed 2 free throws at the end of the game.
Oh no. The Nets missed a lot of free throws down the stretch of that game. Like, this game yesterday, one had a tremendous amount of juice. Like, Little Caesars Arena was on its feet. They really wanted to see the streak snap. Those people were into it. Good crowd. Like, good job, Pistons fans. It was an excellent game. You had a Cade masterpiece, 37 point second half, and they still lost. And he had scored, like, who knows how many straight points, and they cut the lead to 2. Dorian Finney-Smith knocks down a 3 in the corner to make it 5. Pistons take a timeout. And then Alec Burks does the Michael Scott right here, 3, and just slams off the rim so hard. Just right out of a timeout. Like, there's a minute and a half left. They didn't have to rush anything. It was awful. It was like, oh, that's why this team's not good.
The other worst part is my dad bet, like, he likes to do the predicting final scores bet.
Yeah.
And he was off by 1. And Mikal Bridges missed both of his free throws.
Oh no, that second free throw for your dad must have been terrible, man. Because he definitely was like, Because he was like, he has to make one. You can only make one. So he missed the first one. Your dad had like all the dopamine. But then that second one's rolled out or whatever it did, and he was crushed.
Yeah, it's brutal. Tough luck. All right, let's go to the emails. We have a lot to catch up on, so we might speed through some of the older ones. Apologies if you sent us an email about some of the West Coast trip games and we missed it. That's on me. My bad. However, we'll get through them all. We'll put Inpopnito on the screen real quick. Jump over to the emails and we'll go over what we got.
You pull up the emails. I'll change the screen.
I got it already. Don't worry about it. All right. Starting with RJ. This is from the 22nd. So again, we might skip through these and go through quickly the ones that we might have already needed to see already. Afternoon, guys. 27 games in. Seems like the reasonable time to look at what Santa brought the Celtics so far. So we have a new piece up on Celtics blog. All right. We previewed this a little. If you want to read all of RJ's article, make sure to go check it out. It's called 1/3 In as a fan post on Celtics blog. We'll read the bullet points and quickly react again. We're going to try to get through this a little quicker than normal because we have a lot to catch up on. Celtics guard rotation is the best in the East. We'll do quick takes. Sam, thoughts? Yes. The answer is I would agree.
Yes. Yeah.
I would agree.
Who's better? Who's stopping them? We only spent like 10 minutes of the pod having a holiday white party. So
I think the only one that has even a shout is, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, New York's guard rotation is really good with Brunson, DiVincenzo.
They have solid guards, but they don't have
quickly,
like
not the level
aside from Brunson,
not the consistency. No, it's time to retire. JT is the offensive initiator. This is why we need to get past. Well, I disagree. Actually, I think JT should be the offensive initiator. As you saw in the Lakers game. I mean, look at him. Look at him initiate the offense in that game. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, he shouldn't be the offensive initiator, meaning bringing the ball up at the top of the key. I think Tatum's best at initiating the offense from the low post. So I guess that's technically the offensive initiator. But when I read what he wrote, I take it as bringing the ball up. And RJ writes when he brings the ball up in parentheses. Slowly,
this is what he does say.
Leave his hands.
I think Celtics offense is better served if he's doing it from the post to low wing. Which, yeah, I agree.
That's a great way for him to put pressure on the defense. He's not putting pressure on the defense from the top of the key. If I'm an opposing head coach, I'm like, keep him at the top of the key and let him do those stupid dribbles.
That's not what I'm saying. When I read this, offense retires the offensive initiator, I read JT shouldn't be the focal point of the Celtics offense anymore, which I couldn't disagree more.
I don't think that's what it means. Or at least that's not what his point is.
That's what I
clearly isn't from what he wrote.
Sure, I know, but when I say I disagree with this, I assume that's what it meant. I think he should be the focal point, but I agree as well that it should be from low post, etc. Tatum's game is built on avoiding contact. I think he's gotten better at seeking it out. I dislike being a blame the ref guy. Tatum does not get a lot of calls.
Well, he's averaging like 9 free throws a game.
It's the most ever. He probably is averaging the most ever. I just remember there were a couple in that Lakers game where he went in real hard.
He's been better at this.
He's only averaging 6.9 free throws a game, actually.
Is that a career high though?
No, he had 8.4 last year.
8.4. Maybe, but that's just because he's taking less shots. He's down almost 2 shots a game.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think he should be up 12-13.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't think
that's
it's
aggressive.
That's
aggressive. I think like 9-10. Anyways, regardless, I think he should be more aggressive, I suppose, but whatever. Celtics roster is iceberg deep. I agree. I think we can both agree. Joe Mazzulla is a very good second-year coach. Yes, we both agree. Celtics don't need to be great 3-point shooting team to win. They've been better at it. They have been better at it.
So they won their first game not shooting over X percentage against the Lakers. I don't know what the exact number was, but it was like every time they shoot over this percentage, they win. Every time they shoot below it, they lose. The Lakers game was the first time that they shot below whatever the number was and won a game. So I do think, even though the number technically doesn't mean they have to be a great 3-point shooting team, there still is a threshold. With the amount of 3-point shots that they attempt, there's always going to be a threshold like that because it's such a big part of their offense. If they just throw them off the backboard, you're not going to win. Like, you're taking a lot of threes.
Yes. Yeah, I understand. I do think they make up a decent amount of it with the volume, at least in my opinion, for what it's worth. And a couple of the losses where they did shoot poorly, like they still probably should have won the game. Like I'm
The
not going to
Hornets
blame the
game they should have
3-point
won.
and the Warriors
Warriors
game. They
game
didn't
they
shoot
should have
very well.
won.
Like, and I'm not going to sit here and blame those on poor 3-point shooting. I think it was other things. And so, while I do think it's can't be a coincidence with this high volume and this like many metrics, but I also don't think it is that. And for what it's worth, I mean, they shot less than 31% on opening night and they still won that game too. So it's not the first time technically. Last couple things from RJ in this one. This year's Celtics are not scared or overconfident. I think this is based on the Joe Mazzulla quote, or at least like it should be rooted in that. And then no opponent has a structure that fundamentally challenges the Celtics. Again, I'm with it. I think the Celtics are probably the best team in basketball right now.
Sure are.
There we go. Sorry, I've got runny nose killing me. All right, next
Do you
thing.
have your tissues on the ground?
No, but I don't want to wipe my nose on camera, so I can lean over
so
out of the camera.
You dip off
Yes,
to wipe your
yes.
nose.
Yes. I get bullied enough on this show.
People bully you too much. I think if you have to blow your nose, you have to blow your nose. As long as you're not like opening your mic to blow your nose right into it.
It is what it is. Sean Seiler,
What up,
recognize you
Sean?
from the comments. Legend, thank you. Jordan Walsh, my first ever email. I need to get this off my chest. Jordan Walsh has been playing pretty decent for the Maine Celtics, and it's upsetting because I see Andre Jackson playing minutes in Milwaukee, and Jordan Walsh can most have the same or better impact. He's good number of 3-point shooting nights. I believe him alongside shooters like Hauser and Pritchard, his motor would go crazy. What is your opinion on Jordan Walsh? My opinion on Jordan Walsh, especially in relation to the Bucks. The Bucks don't have great depth, and the Celtics do. That's my opinion on this, realistically speaking.
Yeah, they gave up a lot for Lillard. I mean, they lost Grayson Allen in that deal. He was somebody that gave them consistent minutes off the bench. I'm pretty sure Connaughton was hurt there for a little bit, if not still hurt, in Milwaukee. So there's another reason why Jackson's getting minutes. I think that Jordan Walsh is considerably worse than Sam Hauser. I think that O'Shea Brissett may be a better candidate right now than Jordan Walsh to be getting minutes, especially the way he's played and really had fingerprints on like good stretches for the Celtics in his appearances. But I think Jordan Walsh is somebody that you should be like excited about too. Like, I don't think he sucks. I think he has a good skill set. I think he plays defense. I think he has potential to be at least a good role player, maybe more, but you should be like excited about that. And I was personally disappointed to see him not play in the Clippers win the other day when literally everybody played except him.
Yeah. I think he was hurt for what it's worth. And he's also only shooting like 34% from 3 in the G League, which I'm not saying that's terrible, but like in the G League, if that's all you're shooting, I can't imagine it would go up much higher in the NBA. And again, another thing to note, it's not like players come in as rookies and get minutes all the time, especially on the Celtics. Like, look at Hauser. Hauser spent a full year in the G League. Yeah, exactly. And Hauser spent a full year in the G League before getting his chances. A lot of players go through the same stuff. I just don't think it's time yet for Jordan Walsh, and I think they're going to develop him for a year and see what happens. Although I am excited about him. Next thing, what's popping? This is about the Clippers game, so we'll speed through it a little bit just because it's an old one. RJ saying afternoon Clippers game was the one I've been waiting for. All the principles Mazzulla's been talking about. Beautiful, even without the dropping replays. Said he was initially worried about Tatum as the ball handler. Defensive. Zubac's bulk worried me. Celtics increased their pace and getting the ball up the court, and that reduces impact. One of the quietest 30-point nights I can recall from Tatum. Most encouraging is that I don't recall any extended dribble threes. Katie keeps getting better, et cetera, et cetera. Will be even better if Porzingis plays. Be well and Merry Midwinter to you all. Exactly.
Just wait for Kato's next appearance.
Getting into the future here. Be well. And then RJ sent us a very nice Christmas card with him and his family. I don't know if he wanted that shared, so we're not going to share it, but we appreciate you, RJ. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you very much. Next thing we got is from Naeem. How about them Celtics podcast? Hey, Merry Christmas. I was wondering, I believe this is the first email we've gotten from Naeem. I've never seen him. Thank you, Naeem. We appreciate you.
Yes, thanks for reaching.
Hey, Merry Christmas. I was wondering, do you guys think they should make any moves this trade season, free agency, or use the TPE? If anything, just a bench upgrade. Obviously, some guys would be perfect, like Dorian Finney-Smith, but logically, we can't get him. Naeem, the fact that you said this already W. At least I appreciate you acknowledging this part of the equation, because a lot of people don't. Other guys like Saddiq Bey has a small contract, but again, won't happen because some valuable players for their team. W again. I love the context here. I'd say let's go get Torrey Craig. We've said it before. Love it. Furthermore, I think we should go get Terrence Davis from free agency to replace Svi Mykhailiuk. I believe Svi was supposed to be a backup this Sam, but Svi can't get a shot to go. Yep. I think we should sign a free agent big man to a 10-day, see how it goes. I don't think that's how 10 days work? Actually, the year
That literally is how 10 days go.
I don't
think.
know. For some reason, I didn't think you could sign vets like that to 10 days. And I know you're going to say COVID. I think that I wasn't sure if that was a rule just for the COVID 10 days. I'd have to
Oh,
double
I
check.
see
Maybe
what
I'm, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm dumb though. I could just be doing dumb. Would
Well,
not mind giving.
what like signifies like a vet? Like what do they define a vet as? Because Jalen Noel had a 10-day with Memphis,
I know, but he has like less than 4 years.
and he was a 4.
Let's see. What is a 10-day contract? 10 days allowed free agent players. No, okay. Never mind. I'm wrong. Vets can sign 10 days contract. I'm incorrect. It's just a money thing, they'll probably get more. Yeah. Never mind. So JaMychal Green could be signed to a 10-day contract. It's fine. I was wrong. JaMychal Green or Nerlens Noel on on 10 days. I'd like JaMychal Green. I wouldn't hate it. So looking into this, Luke Cornett's 4th season with the Celtics, I can't think of any game he has had better than Nemish Queta. I still stand that Luke Cornett's probably better.
Luke
Luke
Cornett's
has only
debut
played.
game, he literally won him a game in OKC.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like 4 threes in the fourth quarter. It's crazy.
Would much rather trust veterans like Noel or Green as a third big man option come playoffs compared to Luke Cornett. Same time, Brad Stevens' obsession with Cornett, I'm not sure he lets him go. Excuse me. My bench would be Pritchard Banton, Hauser Davis, Craig Stevens, Horford Brissett, Queta, and then Noel, JaMychal Green. Yeah, that's all the things. By the way, I was a huge Muscala fan. I feel like Joe could use him. What did you think? Merry Christmas again. Shout out Naeem. I agree with almost everything he said. I don't know how much I love Terrence Davis. He feels like a too much need the ball to be successful guy. I like JaMychal Green. I like Torrey Craig. I still think Luke's better than Nemish Queta, and I think the best example you're going to see from that is the Lakers game. Nemish Queta got torched on defense in that Lakers game, and I think Luke would have had a bit more success.
I think Cade's big body helps, though. Like, I don't know. I think it's silly to be like, yeah, I feel like Cade is bigger than the 7'2" guy. But I do feel like his strength is there and Cornette's might not be. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know.
I get it.
He's more active on the glass. Like, he's very impactful in that sense.
I think there are definitely parts of the game where Queta is better, but I still don't think it's fair to dismiss Luke Cornett because I still think he's pretty effective. So thank you,
People love to
Naeem,
just hang on the third string big guys. I mean, we talked about it in Talking C's, like when Tice was here, dude. Like, people were like, he sucks. But, like, Tice rules. He's fine.
I love Tice.
He's fine as a third string backup.
Shout out Tice. All right, next email. What's poppin'? LeBron beats the traffic. This is from RJ after Lakers game. Evening, fellas. That was fun. 6 points shot. My predicted margin of 17, but we didn't have Svi, so I'll cope. Didn't see the game until the fourth quarter after we wrapped Christmas dinner. I was worried about the Celtics 3-point shooting. They even survived under 32%. In the fourth quarter, even as they were slowing things down, I was happy to see them looking for good shots and not forcing bad 3-point looks. Also didn't react to AD's scoring to open the 3-point looks and get the Lakers back into it. Closed out the game like champions. Didn't see the bench score much. It'll be curious to see how they looked once the replay blackout lifts. I see. Sorry, I got really confused because I read that as relay at first. I was like, what is happening? I see Nemi had 3 fouls. Was he getting abused by Davis? Yes. Also, I think Mike Breen has the best voice of the national announcers. Yep. Calls a good game, but it's just fun to listen to someone enthusiastic.
Harlan's good too, but the rest of them I really actually don't care for.
Shout out Mike
just listen
Breen.
to local broadcasts.
I will say I like the crew they got with JJ and Richard Jefferson. Ryan Russillo, I think is that who he is?
Ruocco. Russillo's
sorry.
Yeah,
no, I get them mixed up. Ryan Ruocco. I like that crew though. I think Ruocco's good. And the Eagles, obviously. I enjoy the Eagles as well, but that's like
they're confused.
Sorry, yeah. I and Noah Eagle are both very good. All right, W. Thank you, RJ. Next thing. God,
this is the best email we've ever gotten.
So this is like deep HBTC lore. So Sean has beef with this guy ILL in our comments, which we'll put this straight. We love both of you, ILL and Sean. We appreciate you both. This is just like hilarious.
We love the passion.
Basically saying this is an example why ILL should be banned from talking about Celtics, which I mean, this is crazy.
I saw this email yesterday and I was just cracking up to myself. Like, this is the greatest email of all time.
This final line.
The sheer beef, and pettiness to be like, ban this guy. These two used to go to war in the comments. I haven't seen ILL too often. in the
Maybe
comments
he hates
lately,
us.
but I do love that they would just have like threads of like, you're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. And just going back and forth. So shout out to Sean for just igniting the email section of this pod on fire.
He said, P.S. I never forget about any Celtics doubter. My beef don't expire. And
That's
ILL's
right.
comment was Porzingis played with Gilbert Arenas, Melo, Baron Davis, Amari Stoudemire, Lynn Sanity, Luka Doncic, Beal, Kuzma. Porzingis has not been devoid of capable teammates. One could even argue Porzingis has had better surrounding players than Smart in some seasons. I don't know what this is in response to. I appreciate that Porzingis had 1 or 2 star teammates at a time. I want to find what this was what's it called? In response to, because it sounds like he's defending Smart, which W in that case. However, if you're using Lynn Sanity and old Arenas and Baron Davis as the examples, it's probably not the best examples.
I think that's like legitimately factually inaccurate.
Yeah, I don't think he played with Arenas at the very least. I don't think he played with Davis.
I don't think Baron Davis was still on the Knicks. Stoudemire was not on the Knicks. Jeremy Lin, I think, was gone.
Yeah, Baron Davis. This is not many of these are correct. Even if you look at the future ones, like Beal wasn't great. Kuzma is Kuzma. Like, I don't know what excuse or what example we're using there. Luka Doncic will give you Carmelo Anthony, obviously, but that was early in his career. Baron Davis retired in 2012, so Porzingis was not in the league then. Gilbert Arenas retired in 2012 as well. Again, was in the league. Amari Stoudemire, not how you spell his name. And no, Kuzma, yeah, I was saying. So there is that. It does sound like you're defending Smart, though, so respect in that case. But come with some better examples. We love you both.
ILL just hits us with a clapback email.
Hey, we love you. We appreciate you, ILL. Please do. And Sean love you too. Appreciate both of you. Next one we got is Sean again. Ratless again. Within that last email, Arenas and Davis were retired for multiple years. 2011 before Porzingis was drafted. Yeah, we got you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We got you. What's popping? You remind me of someone. Morning, fellas. Hope everyone had a good holiday. Put it up a new post on Celtics blog. This one is comparing current Celtics to Celtics of the past. Check it out. Ooh, let's go through this one quickly. I like that idea. All right. We're not going to read everything. If you would like to read it through the historical mirror on Celtics blog fan post, go check it out. Jaylen Brown, imagine the 2008 version of Paul Pierce, 4 years younger. Sure. I'll back it. Bucket. Jrue Holiday, oddly enough, 1986 Bill Walton. That is funny. Skilled veteran joining an established team. The easy way out of Al Horford's one would be to say that Al reminds me of Al. I'll say he's a better version of last year's Blake. I think Al comp is good. I like. For Porzingis, the biggest man on the court reminds me of one of the small Celtics, Tiny Archibald. JT is reminding me of another Tar Heel, Bob McAdoo. Pritchard is JoJo White.
McAdoo's not one you want.
No,
because he essentially denounced the Celtics and then became a Laker and was on the other end of the rivalry in the 80s.
I had no idea. I don't know. Derek White, John Havlicek. That's a W. That's a good one. And then Pritchard, JoJo White. Enjoy. I like this. I agree. Go read all of his explanations here again through the historical mirror on Celtics blog fan post. All right. One more email we got from RJ. What's popping? Next bad habit to retire. Even folks, just got one watching Talking C's from 1226. Hope you're feeling better, Jack. Thank you. Not yet. This year, Steve was doing a great job of putting bed to the ghosts of seasons past, starting with the Knicks and Heat from the top of the year. Saw the Celtics close out games with victories rather than fumbling the way. Et cetera, neutralize the Magic third quarter problems, winning each of the thirds by nearly 10 points in the West Coast. What's left? How about annoying trade of playing down to their opponent? Hello, Pistons. Celtic social media. You'd think Boston facing the bad boys of the 80s while starting the new Bus 1 boys. Everyone seems to be convinced the Celtics, who are unbeaten at TD Garden, will succumb to the wiles of the June 28 Pistons. The better question is how soon in the third quarter we'll see Lamar Stevens, JD, and Jordan Walsh take the court. I'm convinced Coach Mazzulla is coming home with game plans to treat Detroit, San Antonio, and Toronto like serious opponents. I expect all the Celtics to execute those plans. Don't have a margin prediction, but I fully expect us to play hard wire to wire because that's what being a championship. That's what championship teams do. Be well, RJ. I think what's more important here is that I can imagine the Celtics know they've lost 28 in a row or 27 in a row.
Yeah,
They don't
that's
want to
where
be
I was going to
28.
go right away.
Yeah.
They don't want to be the one to be the streak breaker, the streak breaker. They're spelled the same. The words sound different. Got me in my head. They definitely don't. I mean, Cam Thomas of the Nets talked about this because they just played them back to back. And after the first one, he was like, we know what's at stake here. We don't want to be the team that everybody's talking about that let the Pistons get their first win in the last however many games. I mean, I saw someone sent me a post that was like, the Pistons have won a game longer ago than the Arizona Diamondbacks. Like the Arizona Diamondbacks have won more recently than the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, it's nuts. That's nuts. I saw something that was like, or it is true. John Morant has more wins than the Pistons this year.
Sad.
That's tough, right? That's a bad one. Quickly, I know you switched to NBA. I want to do a one. Literally, it's going to take 1 minute because it's something I got for Christmas to appreciate.
Oh,
my aunt got me
yes,
this book for Christmas
yes.
called Celtics Legends Alphabet. Also, for what it's worth,
Who wrote that? Anybody we know?
Beck Feiner, I think is how you say
No,
it. It's in cursive,
no.
and I'm bad at reading cursive. Beck Feiner wrote it though. Sorry, Robin Feiner. But it says Beck Feiner on the front, I swear. Also, for what it's worth, Uncle Dan, who gave me the cards last year, gave me another Boston sports trivia game so I can pick out the Celtics cards and we could do the Celtics cards as well.
All right.
However,
Uncle Dan goaded for that, though.
We're going to make this easy. Shout out Uncle Dan. I couldn't go to my family Christmas party the other day, so I was upset, but I was sick. We're going to have Sam guess what legend is each letter, and so it'll take us 27 pods or 26 pods. That was bad. But we'll start with A. Sam, who's A? Who do we think is A in this book? It should be a layup. I'll tell you.
Auerbach.
Bingo, Mr. Red. The drawings and illustrations are cool. A is for Red Auerbach, groundbreaking in every way. Red won 16 NBA championships in 29 years for the Celtics as coach, GM, and president. Drafted the NBA's first African-American player and hired the first African-American coach, all while racking up whopping 795 regular season wins in Boston, by far Celtics record. Shout out Red.
I wonder who B's going to be.
We'll have to find out next podcast. All right, now we can go to the NBA section, and we'll start where we left off in the Celtics section. Did the Pistons win a game yet? Sam, tell me.
No, they didn't. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the pod, but they just lost back-to-back games to the Nets. And I kind of thought their losing streak would end against Brooklyn. I don't know why. I really wasn't that confident that Brooklyn would win 2 in a row against the Pistons. I felt like it would get more difficult to win the second game, and to Detroit's credit, it did. Kid had a really great game, finished with 41 points. He was a monster, and he really did a great job of scoring the ball down the stretch. Unfortunately, his teammates can't say the same for them. Alec Burks chucked the 3 up out of the timeout, kind of ended the game. But they now hold the single season record for games lost consecutively. It was previously held by the 13-14 Philadelphia 76ers, the process Sixers. They have a chance to tie that same Sixers group, even though it's a couple years later, who lost 28 straight between the end of the 14-15 season and the beginning of the 15-16 season. They will head into the Garden to face the undefeated at home Celtics tomorrow night, 7:30 tip, baby. But one of the greats, James Edwards, he did write about a Q&A that the Pistons owner Tom Gores did with the media this week. Talked about a couple different things, but he talked about the goal going into the season. He said the goal was to compete for a play-in spot, which is where I had them. Me and the owner apparently don't know ball. He said he feels that the team is set up for future success, and also said that they aren't bound to any outrageous contracts, which gives them flexibility moving forward. Kind of contradicted that he was like, yeah, like I think we're in a good spot, but also we can move. He said Monty Williams, the front office, are safe, but there are changes, maybe the players, that need to be made going forward. He quote, "We're not right now. We have to add and delete. We're on it already. We'll make changes. We will make them. We don't know exactly what they'll be just yet. Mention the near future for these said changes."
Yeah. Listen, I saw TikTok this morning, and it said these are the teams that they've beaten. These are the records that they've broken, blah, blah, blah. And they said 2 teams have lost 26 in a row. And the Cavs were one of them. And he goes, the Cavs literally lost LeBron James for nothing in free agency. Of course they were going to be bad, right? Duh. The other team that did it was a team that was legitimately trying to lose basketball games.
True.
This Pistons team was trying to make the playoffs. This is not the same. This is embarrassing. It is
embarrassing.
It's so
also
bad.
Pistons are still trying to make the playoffs because they reportedly, according to Shams, have interest in trading for Charlotte Hornets forward Miles Bridges. Jack.
And do you see who else?
No.
They also want Siakam, Anunoby, or Tobias Harris.
Well, that we knew about the
but what are we
Tobias
doing?
Harris thing.
But what are we doing?
Tobias Harris and Siakam are both free agents at the end of the season. I think Anunoby might be too. And
yeah, technically.
I'm sure they're like, yes, can't wait to re-sign here.
That's so bad. It's so bad. What are you like?
Spin zone, Jack. I know you don't like that anyone's interested in Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
But perhaps the best basketball punishment without evicting him from the league is like go play for the Pistons.
Hey.
My girlfriend said she would be sick if she was drafted by the Pistons yesterday.
Respect.
So yeah.
She knows ball.
Maybe that's like the best option for you.
Knows ball. Respect. Yeah, no, it's Pistons are an embarrassment to basketball.
I'm telling you, if they made Peyton real, they
out,
probably
Peyton,
wouldn't be in this situation. And Peyton better be on the thumbnail.
Not this one. He'll be in I can put him in the pregame thumbnail. But
why? We're talking about we've talked about the Pistons like for
but I'm not
15 minutes of this show.
I'm not gonna title this the Pistons though.
This is like a Pistons preview. You got to put them on there.
I'm not putting them on there.
I mean, we're legitimately talking about them right now.
I'll put them in the pregame thumbnail. I'm not gonna. We're talking about the Pistons for like.
We talked about the Pistons for a good amount of this show.
It's been 4 minutes on the Pistons and 2 minutes earlier. You're tripping.
That's more minutes than we talked about 28 other teams.
Except the Celtics. And I know that's why you said 28, but it's called How About the Fucking Celtics, not Pistons, buddy. All right? Go start your own Pistons pod.
You hate fun. You like Christmas, but you don't like Peyton. I don't know what your problem is.
I love Peyton. I'll put him on
You
the
don't love him that
pregame,
much. You're not putting him on the front of the show.
Let's look at the rest of the NBA. I'm
this is a big deal.
Talking about Peyton.
History-making event.
That's why I'll put him on the pregame thumbnail. All right, here's the NBA standings. Let's see how every team around the league is doing. Eastern Conference.
I forgot about the standings.
Eastern Conference. Bucks and Sixers both lost their last games. Good for the Celtics, who have won 3 in a row. Magic are back, 1-2 in a row. Heat have won 3 in a row. They're climbing up the standings again. A lot of mid-tier teams have won their last game. Nets have won 2. Meanwhile, at the bottom, the worst get worse. The Hawks, Raptors lost 3 in a row. Wizards 2, Hornets 8, Pistons 27. Not great.
Bulls are officially back. They're in the play-in. Except Vucevic is now hurt for 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, except I don't know if you know about this, Sam. Andre Drummond, though,
what do you call him? All time.
Yeah, 25 rebounds last night. Get ready. Get ready to know about him. 10 offensive rebounds. Like he
shout out to the Hornets too, because they're like kind of like setting us up for something else to be excited about when the Pistons eventually win 8 straight losses.
Yeah, they're getting there. No, Andre Drummond though, and it was against the Hawks, who like aren't a great team, but like Capela is a great rebounder. Like they're a good rebounding team at the very least. Drummond just killed him. Shout out to Bulls, man. Like they're back. They are, and Zach LaVine's still hurt, and so they're killing it. Meanwhile, out west, Nuggets have won 5 in a row, soaring up the standings again. Timberwolves just lost 1. Thunder, Clippers, Mavs, and little winning streaks. And it's sort of the opposite in the West because all these mid-tier teams, Kings, Pels, Rockets, Lakers, Warriors, Suns, all on losing streaks. Meanwhile, the bottom, Jazz have won 3 in a row. Grizzlies with Ja back and Marcus back have won 4 in a row. The Blazers just won 1, but the Spurs have lost 5 in a row. Sam, I will give you $1,000. And this is fake money. I'm not giving you anything. If you can tell me who led the Blazers in scoring in their last win.
I'm trying to think. Like I'm trying to think of like legitimate. my knee-jerk reaction is Sharp, but I feel like if you're asking me this question, it means Sharp,
Sorry,
Simons.
second. He was second in scoring. Anthony Simons had 29. This person that I'm talking about had 25 off the bench. That's your other clue.
Off the bench?
Uh,
Do they even have a bench?
they do. They do.
I don't know. Who is it?
That would be Duop Reith.
Do you know how fucking mad I would be if Duop Reith had 25 points against the Celtics? Did they win?
Yes.
Who'd they beat?
The
Phoenix?
Kings. No,
Dude,
a
if I
good
was
team.
a Kings fan, I would be beside myself, dude.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that one. They killed the Kings too. They beat them by 17.
It's kind of funny because like the Celtics kind of don't do this anymore, where they don't like the Kings are where the Celtics were. I'm trying to be fair. I don't want to like say they're like the Isaiah Celtics, but they kind of are, like where they're like good, but like nobody takes them serious, even though they are good.
Sure.
Like they're at that range where they can still lose to bad teams like this. And I just remember like getting cooked by guys like Jaden Noel or O'Shea Brissett, like guys like that. And you're just like, what the fuck, dude? I've never heard about this guy. And now he has 26 points.
Yeah. 25-9 for Duop Reith off the bench. In case you're curious. I thought you'd enjoy that one. But yeah, the Blazers are there. They've been winning. So have the Grizzlies. So have a lot of these teams. But yeah. Next thing we got, Steve Kerr is very mad at the referees, in case you're wondering. Very upset, not happy with the refs. I think this was after Jokic shot a million free throws.
Jokic
Against
season
them?
high 18 free throws
Which
on Monday.
Is a lot. It's not like Joel Embiid, Giannis levels though. Like it's not the most obscene number we've seen. I have no problem with the officials themselves. Kerr said, all across the league we have really good officials. I have a problem with the way they are legislating defense out of the game. It's what we're doing in the NBA. The way we were teaching the officials, we were enabling players to BS their way to the foul line. If I were a fan, I wouldn't have wanted to watch the second half of that game. It was disgusting. It's just baiting refs into calls, but the refs have to make these calls because that's how they're taught. So I have a real problem with the way we've legislated defense out of the game in this league. The players are really smart in this league. Over the last decade or so, they've gotten smarter and smarter. We have enabled the players and they're taking full advantage and it's parade to the free throw line. It's disgusting to watch. Anthony Slater of The Athletic did an article on this, picked out some bad ones, etc. Listen, I agree that officiating, it gets a little bit too much sometimes. That said, the two things I'll say on this are, one, the Warriors shoot some of the least free throws in the league, I believe, historically, over the past decade or so. And a big part of that is because they're just not aggressive in the sense that they take a million threes. Well, no, it's because they take a million threes. They don't drive to the lane that much. They don't go for foul calls as much. And two, a lot of balls to say this when Draymond Green's on your team. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. Removed from the situation in a vacuum, this quote is very on the money. Yeah. I agree with Steve Kerr. I hate the foul baiting. I hate that they kind of make it so guys can just BS their way to the foul line. Like, I think he has a good point. But Steve Kerr, reputation of being a crybaby. Steve Kerr saying all this after his team lost on Christmas. Slater did put his article together, and he picked out like some of the bad ones. It was like guys setting screens, and then they would get bumped and flop, and it would be a whistle, or it was very like ticky-tack stuff. But like I wrote on the sheet, like you could probably go through like every game, just be like, look at this. Mickey Mouse, which I guess goes to Kerr's point. Like if he's like really not complaining about this game individually, it just made him more angry than the rest of them. Like it is like a league-wide issue. Like I think he has a good point. It's just like, maybe you're not the guy to talk about this. It's like Draymond being like, like maybe we should be more kind to everybody.
Yeah. Listen, like I said, this is just like, say this after Embiid drops 30 free throws on you, or Giannis drops 30. You know what I'm saying?
Like, been like, yeah, dude, like I was looking forward to watching this Sixers Heat game because I know Embiid's not playing.
Yikes. And that, well, I mean, don't worry about it because Jaime Jaquez has just made it worth your while. That
yeah, but he can get to the free throw line like a million times, right? Like he just had a good game.
He was just nasty. My point was just that he's disgusting. He's so good.
Good for him, dude. We were on it. We watched 6 minutes of highlights. And we were like, this guy could fit on an NBA team right now because he doesn't seem to need to be the guy. He knows where to be. He's smart. And we were right. So just another example of us knowing ball.
Yeah. Also, for what it's worth, Jokic is, I don't think, the guy to pick this argument on. Jaren Jackson Jr. shoots more free throws per game than Jokic this season. So let's take a break. Let's take a breather.
No, like, you're right. You are right. Like, that is a good point. He just shot a lot the other day. And a lot of the fouls they called, at least the ones Slater put in the article, were Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Tough. Speaking of the Heat, the Bucks and the Heat have been labeled as potential landing spots for PJ Tucker should he get bought out by the Clippers. And to that I say, no shit. Like that would make a lot of sense. The two teams he had his most success would probably want him on the team. Right? I mean, he went to the finals with Miami and he won a championship with Milwaukee. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think they'd probably want him back.
He was not on the finals team with the Heat.
With Miami?
No.
Oh, he wasn't? Whatever. He was really good and effective in Miami. Is the larger point. Like, these two teams he has a history with, he's been with, he is had, you're right. But regardless,
I would like it if dirty player PJ Tucker was not in the Eastern Conference.
Also fair. Also valid. Would not be ideal. Kevin Durant is mad at the Suns. This is reported. Where is this from? Woj or
Woj.
someone reported this.
Woj was on TV talking about
said people in Phoenix are starting to feel his frustration. Sucks. Deal with it, buddy. Like, I love Kevin Durant. Bad. He's cool. You put yourself in that spot, brother. Like, you wanted to go there.
This is what happens when the inmates run the asylum. When guys are like, I want this guy on my team. Oh, make a big three. Big three has played what, a game and a half together, half a game together. All we talked about was Bradley Beal for like 2 weeks in June, and then he hasn't even played. Like, I just don't care. Like, don't care. Phoenix, not that interesting of a market. Typically, like, on my like rank of franchises I support and like root for, I like to see the Suns be one of the competitive teams. But like, I don't know. I don't care. Like, Beal annoyed me this summer. Devin Booker's kind of annoying to me. And I actually like KD, but like, they gutted the whole team. What do they expect?
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I agree with you. This team, shocker, just doesn't have enough depth. They don't have enough. And the best part is, did you hear what came from Eric Gordon the other day?
He was like, yeah, I need more shots. And also, this is on the owner, too. Actually, this might not be a KD thing. I forgot when I put this down. But Phoenix got a new owner this summer, or like in the spring. Yeah. Matt Ishbia bought the team. And
traded
he was
for
like
KD.
Public. He was like
pre-KD.
Okay, pre-KD. He was public. He was like, yeah, we're going in. Like, I'm taking over the team. I want everybody to associate winning with me. And he's just been fucking firing without aiming down the sight. Just spraying and praying, baby. He got KD. That worked out okay. He rolled his ankle in warmups, and then they lost in the second round. Then they trade for Brad Beal. Brad Beal doesn't even play. You've got your whole team for him. You give up Chris Paul, who, even though he's like old and kind of washed, like is still smart. Like, he could definitely help your team. Certainly more than Bradley Beal, who doesn't even play.
Yeah.
So this is on him too. Like, my bad. I don't even know if KD pushed for the Beal thing. I just kind of assumed he did.
I assume they
did
he
had
too.
Something to do with it, but I know I forgot how like the owner was like, we're all in, floor it. Just absolutely floor it.
Which I respect the mindset of, I'm all in, let's go do something cool.
But don't be reckless.
Sure,
you gotta be smart.
Yeah. I do wonder how much of the decision making was on the players, though.
And the front office in Phoenix is good. They've been doing good things.
I have to imagine that they had a large say in it, though, like Book and KD.
I'm sure
you have to imagine. But not great for Phoenix this year. Outside of KD, Book, and Yusuf Nurkic, not really getting much. Grayson Allen's actually playing really well. So is Eric Gordon. But, like, huge drop-off after that. Like, you go from 12 points from Nurk to 6 points from various players, right? So it's just, you're not getting enough there. on either end, really. All right, next thing we have is from the 76ers. Very brief. I think this is from Mark Stein of the Stein line. Shout out Mark
Just
Stein
a LaVine
saying,
update.
yeah, the Sixers don't want him, basically.
Yeah. And then I put Smart. He's awful. He's literally so bad. Tyrese Maxey's playing well for the
Yeah.
Sixers. Like, if you're Philly, you don't need to do this. And I want to see Philly not be good because they are a competitor to the Celtics. But if I was a Sixers fan, I'd be like, you better not trade for Zach LaVine. Guy's a loser. His shit Bulls team is literally like in the play-in now that he hasn't played. What does that say?
Yep. Don't need LaVine. Don't need LaVine. Speaking of shit teams, the Wizards are reportedly interested. You like that one?
I like
You like
that.
Yeah. Wizards are reportedly potentially interested in trading Kuzma, offloading him for a first-round pick. This is from? Jake Fisher, friend of the pod, Jake Fisher. The 4-year, $90 million deal they signed Kuzma to in free agency is considered quite valuable among rival personnel. It could bring back some legitimate first-round draft capital for the rebuilding Wizards, making roughly 22.5 per season. Someone is going to have to cough up quite a bit of salary to match. That said, like, Kuzma's a good player. Like as much as we joke around saying, "Oh, the Wizards stink," blah blah blah. Like Kuzma's a quality guy. I think he would be better on another team where he didn't have to worry so much about shot creating. He's averaging 23, 6, and 4 on 46, 36 splits this season, and 36 isn't amazing from three, but when you're one of the primary shot creators, it's not bad, especially when you're averaging that many points. So I think teams around the league should be looking at Kuzma as a trade option. And I think there are teams out there who could hit that salary mark and make a quality offer.
Mm.
Who those teams are, don't know. Like Pacers, maybe. I don't know how much he adds defensively, though. So there's that. If I'm the Sixers, I'd rather Kuzma than LaVine. No, that's not saying much, but like I think Kuzma could help.
Pretty much Tobias Harris.
I think you could run both, though. A 2 floor spacing shot
You got
creators,
to give
blah,
up
blah, blah.
somebody's money.
You got like Marcus Morris, though, and the guys they got for Harden.
Yeah. Do they have picks?
No. They have yeah, you're right. You got me.
It's tough.
I think
It's
they can
tough
trade.
to like conceptualize like trades. Like I
No,
don't
I
know.
think you
The
can
only one I
trade-
think maybe is Atlanta. So
Maybe. I think the Sixers can trade like a 2029 first, so like a very future one. Like they can trade one. But yeah, speaking of Atlanta, this is from
Jake Fisher.
Jake Fisher, again, of the Athletic, friend of the pod. They are reportedly interested in trading DeAndre Hunter and or Clint Capela, which sure, like they just hear me
Sounds
out.
like they're looking to trade the wrong people.
Yeah, I don't. It will never happen. Trae Young. I'm not about Trae Young. I've never been a big Trae Young. Like, I don't think he's bad, and I think there is value to having a guy who can make clutch shots in big moments and creates that space and is a playmaker like that. But like, if I'm them, I'd rather have DeJounte Murray as the one and roll with him. It'll never happen because the star power, the X factor of Trae Young. But I don't know. That's my thought.
It's tough because if you're the Hawks, you have to split those guys up from the get-go. Like if you go back and find the old pods when this happened, I was like, this is stupid. Why would they do this? And
Yeah.
it's turned out to be, in fact, stupid. Don't know why they did it. But what is this?
Aaron Gordon has
Dog
suffered
bite?
lacerations to his face and hand resulting from dog bite on Christmas Day. Team says he's in good condition, will remain away from the team while he recovers.
Be heated, dude. This is why I don't like dogs. All right, continuing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Kuzma's the solution. Like, I think DeAndre Hunter's actually like solid. It's burned into my brain because he had a good game against the Celtics in the playoffs. And I think Capela's okay, but he's like kind of away from the modern day big where
And
he doesn't
Okongwu's
really
better
give you much on offense. And
at
Okongwu
what
is
he
just
does.
as tenacious on the
Yeah.
glass. So I don't know. Where's Trae Young going to be traded to? Who needs him? That's the tough because we
wants
do the thing where we're like, what do you say?
I said, who would want him?
Oh, I thought you said Milwaukee. I was like, what?
No. I think there are teams that would value him though, and that would want to trade for him. But
Wizards,
it's just a matter. Well, maybe not.
Pistons.
Nets. I think the Nets would be a really good spot for Trae Young. Cover him up on defense a little bit better.
Maybe.
Play make for Mikal Bridges. I just don't know what they give up. Anyways, that can be a topic for another pod. Let's get into the rat list here. I'll let you kick it off, and we can rock. What do you got?
So, rat list, my mom. My mom made every dessert under the sun for Christmas. She made 2 cakes. She made these cookie cupcake things, and it just kept coming as if I was in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
You're a loser.
The readily accessible junk food is a very bad thing because it's there and you're just like, wow, like I'll have some. My dad agrees. He's on the same page. So I don't know why, like, it was just like, let's make every single thing that we have.
Listen,
Maybe one, maybe a
Listen.
single like dessert, like treat. Fine. You don't need like to have the whole bakery in your damn house.
listen. When most people say this, it is a haha, oh my God, I'm going to get fat, rat list. Sam is serious that he is mad at his mother for making goodies on Christmas. To you, my mom loves to bake a lot of stuff too. The key is
Does
let
she do
her
it
enjoy
consistently,
it.
though?
Yeah, she loves bake. She likes
Yeah,
making
see, no. Like,
sandwich.
the problem is, like, this is, like, an abnormal, like, let's make everything.
Well, yeah, because she wanted to. It's the holiday season. I
It's the
still
holiday
think
season.
that's
Nobody
crazy.
came to our house. It'd be different if
She
we were
wanted
having
to
a Christmas
bake.
party. She wanted to make it. She didn't eat any of it.
You didn't have to either.
She makes the stuff that she doesn't like on purpose.
Did you eat it?
I sure did, because I have
Your
no
own
self-control.
It's not her problem. She's just making. She likes to bake. She wanted to bake something. I can't back you on this one. You know this though. We've had this
I didn't
conversation.
expect you to back me. I wasn't looking for approval. This is where I air my discrepancies.
Yeah, no. Boo. Not a fan. Let's see. Ratless, the guy at the hospital. So I was not for me, but I was at a hospital the other night, and there was this guy, and it's half funny Ratless, but half not because like you're bothering people working. This guy was in a hallway stretcher. Like he was getting admitted or whatever, and he just kept going, "Are you my nurse?" and like yelling to the nurses, and the nurse would be like, "What's up?" Like because he's just been saying it a million times. He just goes, "I don't feel good," and the nurse would just
Is
go,
something wrong with him?
"I don't know." I don't know.
I just
Nurse.
ruined it for you.
Well, the nurse just went, "Yeah, you're at the hospital. I kind of put that together, pal." Like over and over again. He goes, "Can you get me my drugs now?" And they'd go, "You have nothing ordered right now. I'm not going to give you anything." And he kept like rolling over. He was very clearly like there because he was either way too drunk or overdosed or something.
That would
like,
annoy me.
yeah, whatever. But he kept like pulling his IV out unintentionally by rolling around. And then he'd go, "There's blood on my sheets." And they go, "Did you pull your IV out again?" He goes, "No." And they come over and he goes, "You pulled your IV out again." He's being a menace the whole time.
That's
annoying.
like legitimate rat list. Because if you really want to like put the broad like lens on, like all those healthcare workers are working on Christmas.
Yeah.
And they have to fucking deal with this
I
guy.
felt bad. Yeah, I felt bad. It was not great.
You have to be a special kind of person. Like,
yeah.
I hear like situations, this is like not healthcare related, but like of just like things that happen in people's life, like if they like are going through a conflict or something. And I'm like, dude, if this was me, I would have told the person to just get lost. Like, fuck off, dude. I'm not dealing with it. Like, I don't have the patience for that. And that's why I have a microphone and I sit here and do this instead of work in a hospital. But I mean, shout out to them because they're working on the holiday and they got Mr. IV over there.
I will say anti-ratless nurses who are all very nice. So shout out to them. But yes. All right. What do you got?
How much more stuff do you have? Because I need to know if I need to fill.
I can go. I can get a few more things in. I'm just running off the dome, but I've got stuff in mind.
Okay. Rat list is I was driving to get coffee today. And so I haven't done a driving one in a while. There's 2 lanes on my side. There's 2 lanes on the other side. There is a honeydew on my right. I am driving forward. There is somebody waiting to turn into the honeydew from the opposite side of the street. Never an easy task. But there's nobody behind me, and there's nobody coming in the next lane.
Okay.
I can't tell if you're like frozen.
I'm trying. No, sorry. Now. I'm trying to picture it. I'm trying to picture it in my head. Yeah. I'm trying to like picture.
Just envisioning it.
Listen, man, I don't feel good.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. So, anyways,
yeah.
There's nobody behind me.
Yeah.
And there is a small gap, but it's like enough to where like, do you really need to make me break stride? And he just turns right
Yeah.
across.
He should
In
just
that
let you go
situation, if I had
first.
a tank, I would have just rolled him right over.
So
Just
he
boom, right
he
through
should
him.
just let you go first and then gone after you. Like
That's
what's
what
the
I'm
point?
saying. Like, just
Yeah.
rat.
That's
I even
bad.
beeped. I was like, I'm not having this today. Like, my legs are shot today because I ran.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was very active with, like, I did basketball yesterday too. And I was like, I just want to get my sandwich and my coffee and get on with my day.
Yeah, it's
And I got
bad.
this guy trying to turn across all the lanes. Awful.
Mhm. Ratless Henry. So
I love a Henry Ratless. Let's hear it, buddy.
so at my dad's girlfriend's parents' house. We were there. And they've been dating for like 10 plus years at this point. So it's like been a long time, but it's
Anti-rat
regardless.
list, your dad's
Uh,
Facebook post, dude. Your
My
dad just
dad's the
shares
legend.
Facebook memories and all of his stuff's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a beast. Well, for a long time, and not to get off kilter or off track here, for a long time, my dad made it his mission and his like purpose to post a dad joke to Facebook every day. And
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
He'll like bring those up every once in a while.
Awesome. Shout out
Anyways,
to Simone. Go ahead.
shout out my dad. Beast, love you, dad. We play this game. So basically, you wrap a bunch of mini presents like jelly beans or cash or lottery tickets in saran wrap, and you wrap it up into a ball. So, like every 3 layers or so, there is something, and it becomes like this big. And you have 2 dice, and you pass it around a table, and you take turns trying to find the saran wrap and open it and peel it open. And every time the person rolls doubles, you pass it to the next person, the person just rolled. And then the next person rolls, they get doubles, you pass it, and then you win all the mini prizes. And there was like a $20 bill in the middle, right? Whatever. I am in front of Henry. So when Henry rolls doubles, I have to hand it to him.
Yep.
Now, Henry's an asshole in the context of like it. I know there's no skill to rolling dice, but he's very good at it. If you know what I'm saying. Like he just gets doubles. Like I ripped open like maybe 2 things of saran wrap the whole game, and I had the ball like at least 10 plus times. Right? Like I would get the ball, he'd roll once, get doubles, gone. Right? And it sounds like all luck. But you know from ball, and I love Henry, and this is often almost always a good trait, but he tries very hard at everything.
He's competitive. Yes.
Very competitive, which again, I am also competitive. It's a fucking saran wrap ball, brother. Let me have it for 2 seconds before you take it. So I was just getting mad. And the Celtics were on too, so I wasn't too heated because I was trying to watch. But like, I'm trying to focus on 6 things, and I got fuckhead go doubles, grabbing it from me. I'm like, what am I even playing? What are we doing here? Give me a break.
Ratless, my dad.
Oh no.
Ratless, my dad.
Oh god.
So with Christmas, you got to wrap the gifts, right?
I was bad at wrapping gifts this year. I'll say
I'm
that.
good at wrapping gifts, but I had my dad's gifts, and I'm like, all right, I'm wrapping my dad's gifts. It's Christmas Eve. I'm gonna wrap them. Oh my god, I just got something in my eye. But I don't want to wrap my dad's gifts in my room because there's not like good space. Like it's easier to do it on the table.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So I was about to go up to my room and wrap the gifts. But then with going up to my room, I have to like grab the scissors, grab the tape. Like I have to bring it's not all available to me.
Yeah.
As I'm starting to like in my head plan, okay, I need to grab this. My dad's like, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm like, sweet. I'm gonna wrap downstairs. I've never seen somebody take so long to get out the fucking door. It took him a half hour to decide he was going to get going. And then he came right back up because it was raining. He just didn't want to go for the walk. I was ready to murder somebody. And like I like stormed upstairs, dude. I was so mad.
That's fire.
I just waited a half hour to do the gifts, and then he just came right back.
Yeah. That's phenomenal. That is good. That's good.
It's like putting his shoes on, playing with the cat. It's like, get out the door.
I like that. I'm a big fan. All right, quick rat list is another hospital one. Listen, I know if you're in the hospital, you're sick. I heard some of the most obscene coughing I've ever heard in my life, and I know they're sick. I'm not convinced you're that sick,
This
brother.
is a Spider-Man meme.
Like, can we? Worse than mine, like far worse. Like,
Comments just lit on fire.
Like,
They all they're like, yeah. How is he talking about people coughing?
The comments hear me go sometimes. That's different. That's clearing my throat. I can do it often, but like the visceralness or whatever you want to say of this man's coughing.
I like this.
Also,
this is very off-brand. This is something I would complain about, but in my head, I'm like, well, they can't really help it.
Also, you just spent the last X minutes of the pod saying people make fun of you for too much. You're helping them make fun of me now.
Yeah,
brother.
I think it's funny.
What are we doing?
They do make fun of you too much. Doesn't mean it's not funny.
Fuck you. But this man was coughing, and what's annoying was there was no rooms available in the emergency room because they had so many people, which again, not their fault, but fuck, like it sucked. We were just in a hallway. And so it was like stretcher where I was sitting next to, and then directly behind, and that was you just coughing up a storm, and it was like, jeez, it was brutal. And it was also a woman with like I think Spanish was their first language or something, and she was like, I've been here for 2 hours, like what are we doing, like getting mad at all the nurses and stuff, and she eventually left the person there on the stretcher.
She just left.
It was a mess. Yeah, it was a mess.
That whole night. And then just somewhere else.
Well, no, she left the guy on the stretcher. She left her dad. Like she just left. She left the patient. But then on the way out, final rattles from the hospital. We're waiting to like get discharged or whatever. Like you have to like go in front desk, discharge, whatever. And we go up, and she's like on the phone working, obviously in a shit mood. Which fair enough. It's Christmas and you're working. And we just go, hi, are we here to get discharged? And she goes, do you have a copay? And we're like, I'm not sure. Like, does it say here? She goes, copay? I'm like, I don't think so. She goes, bye. I'm like, okay.
She's rude to you?
Yeah. She just said bye. Like, that was it. She said, do you have a copay? And we're like, I don't know. And she just said bye. And we're like, okay, we'll leave. Goodbye. We just left. We're like, all right, see ya. We'd been there for like 5 hours. At that point, we're like, all right, see ya. We're done. So
it's exhausting.
It was
crazy.
Rough.
Like, you gotta like really like fuck yourself up to get treated right away.
We got there in an ambulance too. It's not like it was like we waited in the waiting room at all. We were just.
What'd you think of the ambulance?
What do you fucking mean? What I think it's an ambulance? I sat in the front.
I've never ridden an ambulance before. I'm curious what you thought.
Really? You've never been?
I've never ridden an ambulance.
I've been in an ambulance.
Sorry, it's not family tradition to whack each other with a baseball bat in my family.
Fun fact: I didn't even go in an ambulance for that one.
I
know. I forget. I think I have been in an ambulance before though. Henry definitely has. Grace probably has. No, I was when I got hit in the head. My parents just drove me because they thought it'd be quicker, which it was when they explained. Yeah, he just got hit in the head with a baseball bat. They took me pretty quickly.
Yeah.
When I bit through my tongue, I might have been in an ambulance. I fell out of the car onto my head, and the ambulance came to me, and they treated me inside. There was that one. I don't know. I think that was about it. I can't remember.
You think you'd have more CTE? But you think your Twitter would be closer to Antonio Brown's?
Maybe that's why I cough so much. Anyways, I'll let you wrap if you have a last one.
Yeah, all right. We'll do Ratless Frank, but not really.
Yeah,
Ratless.
Shut up, Frank.
Just more of a funny story.
My God. Sorry. Quickly, Aaron Gordon had 21 stitches.
I'm trying to one-up you.
Holy shit.
Wonder if he got treated right away.
That's what
I'm saying. I always get a kick out of ambulances that you see, like they have their lights on, but they're not really going all that fast. Like they're not really trying that hard to get the person there.
I will say it was fun to be in the front and watch all the cars move out of the way. Although we put our lights on and the cars just didn't move. The ambulance had to like flick on the siren quick to get them to move. They were just driving in front of the ambulance with the lights on for a while, which is psychotic.
Sometimes when I'm on the highway, I'm like, well, I don't know if this ambulance is going to catch me. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not really going all that fast.
This was a town road. Like, this wasn't like everyone's going really fast. This was a town road. Ambulance is clearly like going a little over the speed limit. Like, it was psychotic. Is like being there watching. I was like, what are we doing? Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So anyway, Rattlers Frank. Saturday night was not Christmas Eve. It was the 23rd. And it was pretty quiet. Like, people started to have family parties, bless their soul. And there were only like a few of us that didn't have plans. So 3 of us got together. and we played chess. I couldn't tell you last time I played chess, but
bad
it was
at
fun.
chess.
We played chess. It was fun. And anyways, so Frank has brought his chessboard, and he won the first game against the other guy, McKenna. And then Frank just lost every single game. Like Frank
This
was
is real?
feeling himself. Yeah, this really happened. And he just lost. Like he won the first game, and then lost like 3 in a row. He
I can
was
imagine.
none too pleased.
That's what I was gonna say. I can just imagine him being super angry.
He wasn't like angry, but it was just funny to see him like suffer.
That is funny. I like that. Do you want to tell them quickly about your dream that you texted me about, or are we not putting that on the pod on Christmas Day?
No, we don't need to put we need to put
Yeah,
that.
okay,
out
that's
there.
fine.
We don't
That's
need to
fine.
say it.
We'll leave it.
Because if it happens, everyone's like, wait a minute.
That was one of the craziest texts I've ever received on Christmas morning. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Leave a like on the video, comment what's popping for a chance to win some Inpopnito popcorn, and leave us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify, and follow us in both places. And please, dear God, I'm begging you once again to leave us a review on Apple.
No longer asking.
I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching or on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other full-length pods, Talking C's episodes, game recaps, film breakdowns, trade breakdowns, whatever we decide to talk about. It'll be there, including our 30-minute pregame streams before each game. Those are a lot of fun, so come hang out. You can also leave a like on the video. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Make fun of Jack's sickness. There was something else we talked about, too. You can comment about that. I forget. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple, like Jack mentioned. Follow us there. You'll get all audio versions of full-length pods and game recaps right to your feed. You can leave us a 5-star review there. Say something nice. If you want to reach out to us and be a part of the show, we had several people do it today. Email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We try and get to all your emails, even if it does run a little long because we missed the pod on Monday. It happens. What are you going to do? You can also find us on socials at How About Them C's. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. The pregame streams are there. They're also on Twitter and on Jack's Twitter, which is at JacksMunNBA. You can follow mine at Sam LaFrance NBA. It's up for us. Bye.
Taco. Come on. Taco.